What's happening, ITP? Paranormal Phil out here at the Fort Worth Stockyards as we take another look into the paranormal. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when I post my next video. Also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like. Now back to the paranormal. So we're out here at the Cowtown Winery. We're going to talk to Kay, who leads the Fort Worth Cowtown Winery Stockyard Ghost Tours, and get a little in-depth about the hauntings here in the Stockyards, how they got started, how the tours got started, and all that great stuff. So let's head on inside and talk to Kay. How you doing, Kay?
Hey, how are
Nice
you?
to meet you.
Nice to meet
So
you.
we're out here at the Cowtown Winery to talk with Kay, the lead guide for the Cowtown Winery Ghost Tours, and we're going to get a little in depth on a little bit about the ghost tours.
Okay, all good.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the ghost tours and everything like that. So give the viewers a little history on the Stockyards and why they're so haunted.
Well, the stockyards have been here since like the 1800s, and then the reason there's so many ghosts here is because there was a lot of violence that went on here. I mean, we were called Cowtown, we were a meat packing plant, there was a lot of wild stuff that went on down here. We had a lot of bordellos, and what happened in some of our bordellos, that if the madams were upset with any of the guys that they were mistreating the women working for, she'd just kill them. And so they'd be lying around on the floor inside the bordello. So people died violent deaths down here. Things were tough back when the stockyards got started. So now we have a lot of ghosts because people got murdered down here. And then we had some bank robberies down here that Bonnie and Clyde were down here. And so in like 1907. And so things always didn't go the way Bonnie and Clyde wanted them to. So Clyde Bearer shot the jeweler who used to have his office next to Cowtown Winery. So there was a lot of drama that went on, down here in the stockyards. And then there's also stories that part of the Trinity River goes underneath all of the buildings here, and it goes behind some of our buildings. Well, if someone took a hit out on someone, they would just dump their bodies into the Trinity River, or Mustang Creek, which is the part of it that's down here. So it's known as the Blood Highway. And then the diving teams have been out there and said there's so many body parts down there that they won't be able to identify them all. So things were just rough back in the stockyards.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
everything was rough back in the Old West.
Everything was rough. And then down like at the Stockyards Hotel, Hank, he worked there, and so he ran their elevator, where their elevator malfunctioned, and so he died in an elevator accident. So he shows up and he haunts that place, and so
a lot of people can find out about that stuff on the ghost tours.
Right, they cannot tell about all of those stories on the ghost tour. And people who work down here in the stockyards, they loved it down here. They spent so much time down here, they passed away here. And so they love it so much, they still haunt this place. So.
Now, how did the Cowtown Winery Ghost Tours come to be?
Well, I've been doing it for 5 years, and then they were even having the tours before then, because it was a great way to get people down here to the stockyards, and then we always offered them wine on the tour, so it was a great deal. You could go take a walking tour, find out about the history of the ghosts, and have wonderful wine that Cowtown Winery makes. So it's kind of different side, but that's how it all got started, because we wanted to share the history of the stockyards with everyone. So that's basically how it all got started.
All right, and how did you get involved in the ghost tour? You mentioned 5 years ago. So.
Right. Well, I bring all my friends and my family. Anytime, my dad lived here. He grew up in Fort Worth, and so then when he moved back up here, I go, well, we need to take the tour of the stockyards. I'm going to take you around on a ghost tour, and he had the best time. And so then I'd start taking all of my friends and my family, and then when the last times I went on a tour, it's like, well, I want to do this, so they were hiring, so I called, and I've been doing it ever since, so it's all good.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, how did you just get interested in the paranormal and the ghost tours just by coming, or were you interested in the paranormal before?
I've always been interested in that because it's like, I tell people that every house I live in has ghosts. And it's like, because when I grew up in Austin, and there was a lot of interesting stuff that happened in Austin too, because I've been on ghost tours down there. But like, there was like ghosts in the house that I grew up in. Because like, I was in college, and then, I was finishing up school, and then there was a ghost in my room that I stayed in. It's like, well, hey. And so it's like all of the houses were there. I had ghosts in them. And one of my, like 2 houses ago, my mother used to show up. And so she would come, like she'd be in my living room, or she would show up, and then like my dad would go, I thought that someone else was in the bed with me, but it was your mom, and she's a ghost. So anyway, because like she spent a lot of time at my house, so she just came and showed up there. And then I have ghosts at my current house now. We have a dog and someone I call Grandma, who I think owned the house before me. So
Yeah.
she still shows up on a regular basis. So yeah, I believe in ghosts.
Okay, so what is some of the places that are haunted here in the Stockyard, without giving away too much?
Right. Well, like Miss Molly's across the street has a lot of ghosts, because that was the madam I was referring to. Because if any of the guys doing business with her girls, if they weren't treating her girls the way she wanted them to, she'd just off them right there. And so that place is really haunted. And they're saying that the ghost of the madam shows up at Miss Molly's, as well as some of the women who work there. And then right next door to Cowtown Winery, it used to be a jewelry store. And then the jeweler was killed by Clyde Barrow, so he shows up there. And then he sometimes comes and haunts over here too, because Cowtown Winery used to be a cleaners, and so it kind of has a violent history. And so the ghost of the jeweler shows up, and then they're saying that the guy who owned this cleaners, that he passed away here. And so his ghost shows up, and the ghosts of his children show up here. So Cowtown Winery is really haunted as well.
Why should people go on this ghost tour? What makes it interesting to go on?
Well, this is part of our history, because it's a different part of our history. It's not that, oh, it was such a wonderful life. This is how things really were. There was a lot of shootings, people died violent deaths, or sometimes they just passed away of natural causes down here in the stockyards. But it's just all part of our history to find out what life was really like, and then why these people still haven't passed on. They kind of have some unfinished business and stuff, so they still show up here. So.
Now, what are some of the experiences that you have had on when you've been doing the tours?
Oh, when I've been doing the tours, there was one time when we were here, and like things like fall off the shelves here at Cowtown Winery. And then one night, Sam, I'm a ghost that stays here at Cowtown Winery. One night, I was taking down the sign, and so he made the sign collapse on my hand. I was like, yeah, we had a little chat with Mr. Sam about that day. And so like, hey Sam, that wasn't okay. And so anyway, so I had a little chat with him about it. And then other experiences that we've had is like when I've been out walking around, like down where Mule Alley is, I would see ghosts in the windows. There's a place down there, it used to be a bordello called the Trading Post. I'd see ghosts up there. And then above Risky Steakhouse, they have ghosts there as well. That also used to be a bordello, and so I've seen ghosts. And so, because I always take pictures everywhere I go, and then they're always showing up. And then at the Exchange Building, they have, unfortunately, they have a little girl ghost there, and I've seen her looking out the window. And so, and even when I go down into the Stockyard Station, there's this thing down there called the tunnels that they used to transport the animals before we had trains. But I've been down there, and I come home and I have ghost pictures. So it's like this place is just really haunted. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, I would say so. Now, what are some of the experiences that some of the people that have been on the ghost tours have mentioned to you?
There was this family here from California. One time they had just gotten in town, and we were down in Stockyard Station in the tunnels. And so the ghost was sending random text messages to her daughter back in California, and she didn't know it. And then all of a sudden she goes, Kay, look at my phone. And there was these text messages that didn't even make sense. And then her daughter started texting her to try to find out what was going on. So then, the ghost was doing all this interesting stuff. And then we started seeing some children ghosts wearing yellow dresses and other ghosts that started showing up down where we were standing by the tunnels. So that's an experience I've had. We've also had like orbs that just show up when I'm taking a group of people around. And so they'll tell me that, like, oh, look what I just saw. And so, like the other people on my tours, they'll take pictures and they'll show them to me. Or, did you just see that? I go, yes. So sometimes we all see the same thing, so it's kind of awesome.
Now, how long are these walking tours?
They're like an hour, usually about an hour. Sometimes they go to like an hour and 15 minutes, so depending on what's happening, how many people are down here.
Now, what is the biggest group that you've led on these tours, approximately?
Well, sometimes I've had 30 people on a tour, and so that was a big group, and so it was just more fun, you know. But yeah, that one was kind of a challenge, you know, trying to keep up with 30 people and hope that the ghosts didn't get any of them.
Especially on the weekend when it's busy down
exactly, on a Friday or Saturday night. But yeah, that was like my biggest group, and so it was really a lot of fun. And so sometimes some of our most awesome tours are like in October because people like to get dressed up in costumes. Yeah, and that's really fun. Like toward the end of October, we have like Halloween, and that's always a big deal. Or we'll do like private tours, like for special occasions, like birthday parties and stuff like that. So it's just really fun.
All right, and just a few more questions.
Sure.
In your opinion, what is the most haunted location here at the Stockyard?
Probably it's gonna be a toss-up between Miss Molly's and maybe Cowtown Winery. I think Miss Molly's probably has more ghosts over there because it's like there's been so much stuff that's happened over there. They have a little girl ghost, they have a cowboy ghost named Jake who shows up at their cowboy room, stands at the foot of the bed. So probably Miss Molly's has the most ghosts, but Cowtown Winery comes in second because our ghosts are really active.
And how can people get tickets to come on these tours?
You can make reservations here in person, or you can do it online as well.
All right, and they can also get them on Groupon.
Right, you can also get them on Groupon or online through Cowtown Winery, or some people come in and they just make their reservations and they're here in person.
All right, and last question: when do the ghost tours take place?
They're on Friday and Saturday nights. They're from like 7 to 8 to 8 or 8:15, and so we try to get everyone here at 6:30 because then you can get your drinks and get ready. So because when 7 o'clock comes, like we're out walking around the stockyards talking about all of the history.
Yeah, definitely wear some comfortable shoes.
You need to wear tennis shoes or real comfortable sandals because we do a lot of walking, and we're walking for an hour, so we go exploring. So I always try to tell people.
Yeah, don't try to do it in cowboy boots. I've done it.
Or your high heel shoes. Like,
yeah, it's a little difficult on the uneven ground and everything like that. Right. So I'm gonna let you sign off with your little saying that you say every time that you leave these.
Party on.
All right, thank you
once
again.
No place like the Stockyards. Thank you. It was awesome. It was so great talking to you again.
Special thanks to Kay for allowing me to interview her and the staff of Cowtown Winery for being gracious hosts to Into the Paranormal. If you would like to get tickets for the Cowtown Winery Ghost Tours, visit cowtownwinery.com and there's a link in the description below. You can also find the tickets on Groupon, or if you're just in the area of the Fort Worth Stockyards, stop on by Cowtown Winery and get your tickets there. It's a ghost tour you definitely do not want to miss.